Hi everyone, my name is Eran Kinsbruner and welcome to today's Tech Talk. And today's topic is an introduction to 5G networks. As we all know, the mobile landscape continuously evolves and actually challenges us as testers, test automation engineers, as well as developers. The thing about 5G networks is that while it's evolving in the background, practitioners, application developers across the board, across verticals, are not 100% focusing on what it actually means from their perspective, their practices. And in this tech talk, I wanted to just give a kind of an overview of what are the 5G networks all about, some of the use cases, actually how to address them from a testing perspective, and much more. So let's dive in. So 5G in a very high level enables users, developers, practitioners, and us as customers to enjoy a better, stable, and faster network infrastructure. Okay, you can see in this slide how many advanced use cases 5G enables, things that, in the era of 4G LTE, 3G, obviously 2G, were not even impossible. So think about smart cities, smart homes, high speed video streaming and downloads, fast transmissions of data, a lot of different connectivities between cars, cities, homes, and devices. So, in a very high level, 5G enables us to do much more in a more reliable way, and obviously think about fast. Okay, that's the key word here. So, with that in mind, okay, let's see where the world stands today. So if you look at a map that OpenSignal created towards the end of 2019, you can see that the leaders in 5G adoption are the US and Australia, with Switzerland being close to Australia, and all the other countries are making movements towards 5G. But if you want to look at a 5G network coverage worldwide, we are not yet there. It's evolving. We are starting to see almost on a monthly basis a new launch of a smartphone that has the tag of 5G. Recently, Samsung released the Samsung S20 5G Ultra, and when you see the 5G tag within or alongside a new smartphone, it means that it's 5G ready. It means that it has the chipset, the technology to enable him not just to obviously consume and perform faster in a 5G network, but also to be interoperable with other 5G devices. We talked earlier about smart cities, smart homes, and stuff like that. So when you have a smartphone which is 5G enabled, obviously it's ready to do to interact and connect to other applications and other smart devices around him. So we hope that by, let's say, the end of 2020, we'll see a much more wider coverage. We're no longer talking about adoption. Everyone is adopting 5G as the next generation of networks. But from a coverage perspective, we'll see more and more new antennas being spread all over the world. And think about it, this is a whole new technology protocol as well as infrastructure and hardware that needs to be spread across the globe. It's not the same infrastructure as we used to see with 4G LTE. Okay, this is why it takes time. It has a cost behind that, and this is why there are nations and countries that have evolved much faster than others. We talked a bit about use cases in the beginning. So if you look at 5G, look at the different use cases, in this cool chart, and you can see that different carriers like Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile and Sprint, how they handle or prepare to support 5G all over the board, including, supporting large events with streaming, smart cities which, have the connectivities to cars and stoplights and buildings and transmitters and other type of transportations like trains and you name it. So the big thing about and the most important thing about this slide is that 5G is going to facilitate an uh, all connected infrastructure environment and reality that we as consumers can be connected or enable applications that we use to connect and communicate with many other facilities and basically improve our productivity, our user experience, and obviously the entire performance of everything that we are consuming through our mobile applications. Um, the next slide, just builds on top of the previous. So we talked about advanced user scenarios. So think about the AR and VR of the world. So in the past, we used to see these things, these technologies as evolving and quite, the future, but they didn't have the enablers, which is 5G networks, a reliable and fast supported network to really enable adoption. With 5G being spread and implemented across the globe, we're going to see many more new applications that are using AR and VR in a more reliable way. And look at the bandwidth that 5G will enable. So you can think about high user experience, advanced gaming, advanced virtual reality applications. And this is not just gaming independent, it can also be within shops and retailers and other verticals, healthcare as well. So 5G will also enable the AR and VR technology to become more and more adopted, popular, and obviously functionable. So let's try and put some kind of a test plan. If you are an application developer and want to think about transitioning or testing your app and website, whatever digital channel that you have in a 5G, these are the key pillars in a very high level that you want to consider. Obviously, it's application independent or dependent, if you like. So, if you are in a specific vertical, obviously you have your own consideration. But the generic testing considerations on top of the app dependent functionalities are the following. You want to make sure that your app is compatible to run on both 5G, 4G, and even older network generations. And why it's important, obviously, and you've seen in the previous slides, not all of the world is 5G ready. There are different areas, even in the US, as well as the different countries in the world that haven't adopted 5G in a full scale. This means that you have a lot of end users that are still running on older network configurations. You want to make sure that the app performs, works fine across all these networks. And if you have a specific feature that is 5G related, you want to make sure that it's not really causing any poor user experience when it's running on a 4G or when it's moving from 5G to 4G or to Wi-Fi. Okay? In addition, you want to look at interoperability and application architecture to see what needs to happen in the app or applications to make them fully ready to work across all different 5G use cases, locations, and devices. Another important aspect for 5G is the security. As you have seen in the previous slide, 5G will and already enables applications to communicate across different channels, cities, IoT, NFC devices, cars, you name it. This means that your application that stores a lot of sensitive data is actually transmitting this data across multiple channels towards multiple physical devices, if you like, that you are not really controlling. So you want to make sure that you have a very good security layer and you are monitoring the application behavior so you are not really putting anything in danger. Last but not least is the coverage and the locations. As mentioned earlier, not all of the different geographies fully support 5G, and in different geographies you will see different smartphones and tablets that some of them are supporting 5G, some aren't. So you want to have a very good device geo coverage mapping that allows you to fully release your app in a confident manner, that you will know that it runs perfectly on 5G, 4G across different geographies, that you have your users using that app. And this will actually give you a peace of mind towards the future. So to wrap up this short tech talk, 5G is obviously here. It's very well adopted. A lot of application developers are already looking today into multiple use cases that can enrich their existing applications and delight their end users with a high user experience. You want to make sure that you, as an application developer, business owner, make your app ready for 5G, but also make sure that it's very well tested with high quality. And by the way, we at Perfecto are perfectly capable of supporting you. We have 11 data centers all over the globe with real cellular network connectivity to smartphones from all different generations, with mimicking of locations and network conditions as well. So you can actually plug the app to most of our clouds and get some real life user experience, and as well as functionality to make sure that you have a very good, reliable application. So try Perfecto through our free trial and see how we can help you get ready for testing towards 5G networks. Thank you so much for being with us in this Tech Talk, and looking forward to seeing you in the next.